This is my Beauty A to Z update for the month of July. Happy July, everyone. Today is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab, and it was created by Jessica and Amanda. I will have Jessica's information in the description box below, as well as a link to the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group. This year for this project, I am using single shadows. I have a single shadow for every letter of the alphabet. I use them 5 times, I roll them out, and I randomly choose the next letter. If you love fun project pans and love talking about eyeshadow, then stick around. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. This was last month's color story. I did enjoy this color story. I didn't use a whole lot, but I do have some rollouts. So let's go ahead and get started. Want to? Side note, something that I've noticed, now that my countertop is deeper, I have a different top on my vanity, and it is deeper. The other one was 19 inches, and I think this is 25 inches deep. The camera is further away, and I talk with my hands all the time. I didn't realize I'd do that. Yeah, I do that. So I'm only going to talk about the shadows that I do have progress on. So we're going to start with the letter C, and this is the shade Cheers, Babe. This is a ColourPop single. You can buy it as a single. I don't know if it ever came in a palette. I don't think that I have the palette that it came in, if it did, because then I would have 2 of them. But it's really pretty. It's super, super pretty. It's a peachy gold. It's very, very pretty. As of the last update, I had 2 uses on this shadow. I have used it 3 more times. I did. So that's my 5 uses. It is rolling out. Next up for the letter D is the shade Decisive, and this is a copacetic single. So pretty. This has been in since January, you guys. January. And I'm not a big hot pink wearer, but it is a beautiful shade. You can see it does have a little like icy pink flip to it, a little bit. Luna's back here being crazy. So if you hear her, you might hear her. You might hear her back there being crazy. She's in her little bed, but she's growling. I don't know. She's playing alone. For the shade Decisive, as of the last update, I had only had 2 uses on it. And like I said, it's been in since January. But in the month of June, I used it 3 times. So that's my 5 uses. It is also rolling out. Brought in last month. For the letter G, we have the shade Gnarly, and this is a ColourPop single from the California Love palette. I knew when this rolled in, it was going to be a gimme because it is a perfect either lid setting shade or even like a light transition. Anyway, I used it like 8, 9, 10 times. So of course this is rolling out. I did a little BYOP. Where is it? I did a little BYOP for my monthly collab with Leanna, and it was right here. And can I tell you how much I've used this BYOP? Over on Instagram, I do my makeup of the day every day. Most days. I do my makeup of the day. But I was so freaking busy last week. I think I only did 2. Or maybe I did one that was 2 days. I don't know. I know I didn't post the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. I was just too freaking busy. But normally over on Instagram, I do post my makeup of the day. I enjoy that. It gives me a little break in the middle of the day while I'm at work. I'm just moving on. For the letter I have the shade Ice Phantom. This is a Divina shadow. It is gorgeous. I love this. As of the last update, I had 2 uses. As of the last update, I had 1 use. I have used it 2 more times in the month of June. So I have 3 uses on this. So it is staying in. Down here, it's another peachy. These are very similar. For the letter J, we have the Give Me Glow shade Jellyfish. This has been in since February, I think. Let me see. Oh, no, it just came in April. It feels like it's been in here forever, but probably because I used that with the Decisive, the copacetic Decisive that I just showed you. But yes, this is a gorgeous shade. Up to the last update, I had 4 uses, and I used it one more time with the Decisive, and look at that. These two together are magical, and it is rolling out. Next up for the letter M, I have a Looksy shadow called Moth to a Flame. Up to the last update, I had 3 uses. I did use it one more time in June, so that makes 4 uses. It is not rolling out yet. It is such a beautiful goldy orange. It's so pretty. And so with one of my warm looks that I did this past month, I used that. It was beautiful. Loved it. For the letter O, we have OMG. This is a ColourPop single ColourPop shade from the Orchid You Not palette. It is really pretty as well. This just came in last month. I have 3 uses on it. It is a red / like maroon shimmer. It's very, very pretty. I say that about every shade, don't I? But they are. They're very, very pretty. But I did only use it 3 times, so I have 2 more uses to go before that can roll out. For the letter R, also from ColourPop, I have the shade Royal Affair, and this is from the All Amethyst palette. And I kind of knew that this one was going to roll out pretty quickly. It just rolled in last month. I used it all 5 times last month. It was a perfect outer corner. I used it a lot with my Huda Mercury Retrograde palette. I used the pinks in there so much. I actually hit a pan this past week because I use those pinks all the time. And that is a beautiful outer corner to use with that. This next shadow came in May, and this is for the letter R. This is the shade Roses Remix. This is a Give Me Glow shadow also. And I have only used this once. I used it one time. I don't know why, you guys. It is so beautiful. There, that is what it looks like. It's liquid metal. It's just gorge. But I've only used it once. Well, okay. So I don't like to use this before work or when I go to work. It is a chunkier shadow, and I don't like to wear those to work because I'm there for 9 hours and I put on my makeup about an hour before I leave for work, and I just don't want it to be on for 10 hours because it doesn't usually stay, and then it ends up looking, I don't know, kind of crappy. And also, the chunkier shadows have a tendency to fall out a little bit more during the day. I don't want glitter on my face. So usually that kind of a shadow is just a, I don't know, going out to dinner or going shopping with friends or, you know, whatever. I don't usually have it on for a bunch of hours. And then the last shade that was used came in April, and it's for the letter Z, and it is the shade Buzzed. Now, there are certain letters of the alphabet that I do not have shadows for, or I have very few shadows for. So I get creative, and if there's a Z in the shadow name, then I put it in the Z column. So this is the shade Buzzed, and this is from the Wannabe palette from ColourPop. As of the last update, I had 3 uses. No, as of the last update, I had 2 uses on this. I used it one more time this past month. There's what it looks like. It's a very, it looks more of a yellow, like an orangey yellow, but yellow nonetheless. But when it swatches, it's pretty orange. As you can see, it's pretty orange. But I've only used that a total of 3 times, so that is rolling over for another 2 uses. You guys, I totally missed a letter. Evidently, I don't know how the alphabet works. For the letter T, the Sydney Grace shade Toes in the Sand. When did this come in? This came in April. I had 3 uses on this up to the last update, and I used it 5 times. I used it 5 times in June. It is a great outer corner also for a warm brown look. It's very pretty. See it right there. It's just a brown, but it's a beautiful brown, and it's a Sydney Grace brown, which makes it even better. But, so that is rolling out. I have used it way more than my 5 times. My gnarly shade went back in my BYOP, and then these I'm just sticking in this little thing so that I can put them away in a little bit. So I have 6 shadows rolling out this month. Very exciting for me. Very, very exciting. I have my pretty random app up. I have my screen record on. We're going to the letter C. And I have 27 shades that start with C. So let's see how many we get. Yes, I did have 1 through 27. Shade number 14, and shade number 14 is called Coin. I think that is from the Lucky Penny palette from ColourPop, I'm pretty sure. So the next one is D. We only have 17 that start with D. So let's do 1 through 27, or 1 through 17. 17. That is going to be, oh, you know what? I don't. I have 1 through 16. I have 16 shades that start with, so I don't even have a 16 or a 17. Okay. Do over. Let's see what we get. Shade number 13 is called Dream Big. And I don't know what that is. It might be a Sydney Grace, but I don't know. The next shade that we rolled out is for the letter G, and I have 11 that start with G. Shade number 2, Gifts Galore. Ooh, that's more of a winter shade, but that's okay. It's beautiful. It is a Give Me Glow. Next up is the letter J, and I only have 3. I only have 3 that start with J or even have J in them. So this is not going to be too awful hard to choose. Shade number 1 is Juicy. Ooh, I think that's from the Main Squeeze palette from ColourPop. It's not my favorite palette, but we're going to see. We're going to see. Next is the letter R. I have 16 that start with the letter R, and see what we get. Number 2, Rebloom. I don't know what that is. I'm thinking it might be Sydney Grace, but it might be a ColourPop. I have a lot of ColourPop in here because if you're new, I depotted my 9-pan and 12-pan and 1/16-pan ColourPop palettes, and those are all part of my singles now. Yes, I did do I went through, swatched them all, decluttered about 30 of them that just didn't perform like they once did. And so I did get rid of some, but I still have a ton. And then the last letter is the letter T. Ooh, it's thundering outside. They've been promising storms for days. They're liars. It's not been storming at all. The other day we got some thunder and that was it. I love thunderstorms. I do. Okay, so for the letter T, we have 19 shades that start with the letter T. And what are we getting? Shade number 18. And that is called Truth Hurts. Well, I'm pretty sure that is ColourPop. I don't know. That is not a name that like sticks in my head, so I don't know. So I'm gonna go grab those. We'll come back, we'll discuss. You guys don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. We are back with our new shades. I'm actually pretty okay with this. There is one that might be a little close to something that's in here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So for the letter C, we got the shade Coin. That was from the Lucky Penny palette. It is orange. I thought for some reason I thought it was a shimmer, but it is not. It is an orange matte. It's very pretty, but it might go really well with this. This is the Buzzed. Let me swatch them beside each other. I'll just swatch it over here, which you won't be able to see. Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, those will go together great. Perfect for summer. That will also make me use the buzzed. You guys, oranges and yellows are not my #1 shades, but they're okay. For the letter D, we got Dream Big, and this is a Sydney Grace shade. And with the Royal Affair rolling out, this one might be a pretty good. This is one of those Sydney Grace ones that don't really swatch that well. I mean, it's okay. It's a brownie plum shade. So with the Royal Affair rolling out, this would be a good replacement for that. Some of my Sydney Grace shades, and there's like a shiny coating on it, but it's not a shimmer. It is a matte, but they don't swatch really well. But when I apply them, I had one just a few months ago, if you remember, October Odyssey. It did not swatch well, but man, it was beautiful on the eyes. So I don't know what to tell you on that, but that's what that looks like. It looks like brown, but it is a plummy brown. For the letter G, I drew the shade Gifts Galore. This is a Give Me Glow shade. It is green. It is shifty. It is so pretty. It has like a brown or red base to it, but it is a green and it is so pretty. But like I said, that's more of like an end of the year for me, like October, November, December. But I do have a couple of greens in here, and it might work well with them. Speaking of greens, we have the shade Juicy. This is the ColourPop Lush Life palette. One of the best ColourPop formulas. This is very similar, I think, to the Verdure that is in this project. So I'm going to swatch both of those together as well. I'm still going to leave the Verdure in here because I do have 3 uses on it. Oh no. The Verdure is much more sparkly, and I think it's a little bit more yellow based than this. This is a very, almost like a blue green, a very cool green. So, okay, we'll go ahead and keep that in here. I mean, I was going to keep it in here anyway, you guys, but whatever. And then for the letter R, we have Rebloom, and this is from the Orchid You Not palette, and this is really pretty. It's getting a little dry, I think. It's not as creamy feeling as it used to be, but it's still very pretty. What I'm wondering though, why am I doing so many dupes this time? I want to see how it swatches next to the Earth Shine, which is also in this project. The Earth Shine, I only have one. Let's see. The Earth Shine, you can't even see. Let me swatch the Earth Shine right underneath. Oh, the Rebloom is prettier. There's the Earth Shine. There's the Rebloom. This is much more impactful, so that's going to be fun to use. And then I have one more left, and this is the shade Truth Hurts. This is for the letter T. This is the shade Truth Hurts, and it is from the Give It To Me Straight palette from ColourPop. Also one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. I think it was a 12 pan. And that might also go well with the Buzzed, but I wonder how similar it is. So that's the, what did I say? Truth Hurts. That is the Truth Hurts. Let me see what the Buzzed looks like next to it. Yeah, they're basically the same shade. That's okay. It's all right. It's only 5 uses. If I had to get more than 5 uses, I might regroup and might redraw. I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to redraw because I'm going to use it anyway at some point, because I think, you guys, I think I'm going to continue this through next year, even though I'm not going to start over, but I'm going to have a lot of shades left. I might call it something else, but just something to use my single shadows. Let me know in the comments if you want to see this brought back as another project, and give me some names. Give me some ideas for what I should call it. I already did a Love Your Eyeshadows, so I really don't want to do that. But I don't know, something. These are the 6 shadows that were rolled in this time, a lot different than the shadows that rolled out. There were a lot of pinky purple shadows that rolled out. So this is our new color story for the month of July. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Also, I thought I was losing my mind because I was putting the Rebloom in here. Here's the Rebloom. And the Roses Remix was up there. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't roll that out. Why am I drawing for R? Because the Roses Remix is in for X. That's why. When I talked about getting creative with names, that's why. Because I didn't have any that started with X. I had a few with X in the title, in the name, I mean. So let me know what you think in the comments below of our new color story. Are you guys working on any eyeshadows? Let me know down below what you're working on, how you're doing. If there's any shadows that you are really struggling with, girl, same. Girl, same. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.